Immortalized in song, television, books, and movies, Route 66 is perhaps the most famous and romanticized road in the world. If you're a regular viewer, you know that we have quite a keen interest in the old highway, and that we work hand in hand with Route 66 magazine to get the word out about this important piece of American history. We thought that a wintertime drive along the entire length of Route 66 from Illinois to California would provide us with the kind of variety of road and weather conditions that we seek out as part of our year-long evaluations of long-term test vehicles. In this case, we called upon our Lexus GX470 for the journey, for its blend of comfort, driving fun, foul weather security, and importantly for some of our plans, serious off-pavement capabilities. We were very pleased with the sure footing of our Lexus as we left the snowy shores of Lake Michigan and traversed the snowy, icy, and wet roads on the early part of our journey. In 1926, long before the advent of the interstate highway system, Route 66 was formed to connect Chicago, Illinois to Santa Monica, California. It was decommissioned as an official U.S. highway in 1984. Route 66 was a major east-west travel corridor that brought thousands of people out west to seek their fortunes, and became a symbol of the freedom and diversity of the United States. Over the years, Route 66 had a number of realignments that changed the exact path of the highway, but it has always served as a major link of commerce and culture across the country. With nicknames like the Mother Road and the Main Street of America, it's easy to see that Route 66 has always held an important place in people's hearts. Route 66 covered over 2,400 miles in its journey from the Midwest to the Pacific Ocean, cutting through parts of 8 states along the way. Winding through rural areas, small towns, and big cities, it's a true tribute to the diversity of America. Numerous local and national organizations have formed with the goal of preserving what's left of the old road and the cultural history that goes along with it. States along the original route have erected historic Route 66 signs which allow travelers to step back in time by leaving the interstate highways behind and enjoying the slower, more personal style of automobile travel of bygone years. Innumerable sites of historic interest line old Route 66 from end to end, and serve to remind us of the way things used to be. The Chain of Rocks Bridge connecting Illinois and Missouri features a curve in the roadway high above the Mississippi River. After many years of neglect, this old span is now reopened, only for pedestrians and bicycles, but you can still imagine meeting an oncoming tractor-trailer at that bend on the narrow roadway. And speaking of narrow, in Oklahoma, you can find sections of Route 66 that are only 9 feet wide in total. Apparently, they decided to stretch the available money for paving for twice the distance by making the pavement only half as wide. Many people don't realize that when Route 66 was originally put into service, only about 800 of the more than 2,400 miles were paved. One of the toughest unpaved sections was the La Bajada grade near Santa Fe, New Mexico. It remains unpaved today, and the deterioration over 80 years makes it quite a challenge to negotiate. Utilizing our Lexus low-range transfer case and locking center differential, and raising the rear air suspension to its highest level, we did some rock crawling to climb this tough grade. Keeping a slow, sensible pace, we were able to make our way to the top without scraping bottom, or tearing up our tires on the sharp stones. In many areas, Old 66 runs right next to the interstates that replaced it, but in others, it passes through towns that have been long forgotten by most travelers who pass by them on newer roads. In some areas, like this one in eastern Arizona, Route 66 was essentially cut off from vehicle traffic, along with the businesses lining the roads. Many motels, restaurants, and service stations that had become landmarks for travelers for decades fell on hard times when most of the traffic began using the interstate highway system. Nostalgia is the reason to seek out old Route 66, and there are plenty of remnants of the past in various states of repair to bring back those fond memories. From early adventurers to families fleeing the hardships of the Dust Bowl era, to troops preparing for battle in World War II, to vacationers in the boom times of the post-war era, Route 66 was a key part of it all, and there's still a lot of it out there to explore. At Two Guns, Arizona, you'll find the remains of a zoo that once housed mountain lions and other animals for the amusement of tourists. Farther west, the town of Oatman still thrives on its Old West image, and burros still roam the streets. We're pleased to tell you that our Lexus GX470 performed admirably throughout our trip, and handled the varying weather and road conditions completely in stride. It was always fun to drive, and kept us comfortable and confident in every phase of our journey. And it also reminded us once again why we think so highly of it. A drive along Old Route 66, whether for the whole length or just a portion of it, can be a very rewarding history lesson. There's an amazing array of sights to see and things to do along the main street of America, and it's well worth doing. Before you head out, make sure you pick up a few copies of Route 66 magazine and some of the resources they offer so you can get the most out of your trip.